Welcome to homework.
Hello, everyone. Today I will be helping you with the 42nd problem of the Chapter 12 problem set. This question is talking about a lot of Gregor Mendel and everything like that, and like single and double character and multiple characteristics that chromosomes basically carry. And it's asking you to answer A, B, C, D, and E. So A says, before the acceptance of what Mendel called factors, as the discrete units of inheritance, the accepted model was that the traits of progeny were blended traits of parents. Evaluate the evidence provided by Mendel's experiments in disproving the blended theory of inheritance. So basically, what I like to do is C texture. So C texture is important because you have smooth and then you have wrinkled. And if they were blended, then you would have like this weird seed where half of it was wrinkled and half of it was smooth, but you don't see that. So that's like basically the evidence that Mendel kind of used to disprove that. So, or we used to disprove it. And then you have B, which says, evaluate the evidence provided by the multiple characteristics experiment. So I'd say the way I would do this is there would be specific proportions of the certain inherited traits, which would show that the multiple characteristics are that theory is plausible. And then you have identify which of the following laws of inheritance depend upon these multiple character experiments for support. So you have A, which is during gamete formation, the alleles for each gene segregate from each other so that the gamete carries only one allele for each gene. So no, that's not going to be multiple alleles, so not A. And then you have B, which is genes for different traits can segregate independently, so no, that's again not it. Then you have C, some alleles are dominant whereas others are no. So it's going to be D because all of these are for single characteristics and it can be proven for that. And then you have part C, which is a whole different aspect of it. And it's asking you to use the whole entire chart that they have built for you. So they want you to use this chart right here. And they're basically asking you to go below the line right here and fill out which traits match with which ones. So how I did this is I labeled the ones that are for 4. So basically you have mature siege, which is R and R. So basically what you're going to do is it's like but the specific ones that we're going to focus on is mature pods, flower stalk, and height. So you have height, which is LE, right? So you have LE, which has to go with the flower stalk in mature pods, right? So that's going to be right here and right here. And then you're going to have flower stalk, which is the FA, and that's going to have to go with mature pods V, and it's going to have to go with height. So that's going to be right here. And then it's already connected right here. So, and then you have the mature pods, which are right here. And then you're going to have to match those with the other two, and they're already matched. So this is going to be the core part of it all. And then that's basically that's all you have to do for C. And then now we will go on to D. So D is asking, explain the reasons for the expended deviations for those combinations of the characteristics identified in part C. So basically, it's going to be because they're on the same chromosomes. So the same chromosomes will yield a certain sorry, that is a terrible writing of chromosomes. Sorry. But it's because they're on the same chromosome that the deviations are going to be like that, because there's going to be a set amount of probability and distribution for each one that are going to show up. So that is the reasoning. And then you have E, and then E says, in one of the experiments reported by Mendel, deviations from the law identified in part B, which is like the multiple characteristic ones, might be expected. Explain how the outcomes of this experiment were consistent with Mendel's laws. So basically, it's like the ratios are proportional to the expected, and then they're linked genes, just because they're on the same gene. So I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.